Yeah, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Yeah, I mean, I ain't even gonna hold y'all up, man. We gonna get right to it today. We ain't even about to have none of the bells and whistles and music, man. We gonna get right to it today. Just let me get my share on real quick, or attempt to. If Facebook stop acting stupid. If you in the building, press like for your boy, man. Drop a comment. If you watching me, you feel me. Let me know you in the building, man. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Jalen Brunson's welcome to the Knicks and the media's reaction to it. You feel me? Starks was good, Brody. I see you in the building, man. Do me a favor, help your boy share this one time for the one time. You feel me? Uh yeah, so we're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that, man, because I was just there. I just was in the crib trying to catch up on all my Knicks stuff today because I know yesterday we had, the event for Jalen Brunson, and then I see Roy was good, uh, and I see the media's reaction to not being invited to the event, and I don't want to skip over the most important part, which was, you know, the event to welcome Jalen Brunson to the Knicks. It was beautiful to see him watching himself, on the jumbotrons and all the things leading up to that point. And I like the way they did that little mix with like him throwing alley oops in the Maverick jersey, but turning into Knicks players and passes and stuff. That was kind of fire. But my biggest takeaway from the event was, um, you know, seeing that he has some pride. JJ was good, bro. Oh yeah, we live, baby. You feel me? Surprise. You know what I mean? I don't be out here like that no more, but we here. But to see that he has some kind of, as I was saying, one of my biggest takeaways was to see that he was the pride that he has to wear the uniform. You know what I mean? He's a legacy Nick. His daddy played for the team. So that comes with a certain level of pride. You feel me? That's facts. Team Knicks ish in the building. You already know the rivalry, JJ. So you already know, like, there's pride for him being, a legacy child of the Knicks. You feel me? So that's dope. And when they asked him about, what's the plan for the teams, is in championships and all that, he said the city deserves it. And yes, we do. We do deserve it, Jalen. Thank you for saying so. You feel me? Thank you for saying that we deserve to be contenders and be a championship team. You feel me? And that's the kind of pride that we need, you know, on this team. Earlier I said, there's a special culture being built in New York. We already got, well, we had three, now we back down to two with Obi and Obi and Brunson, him being from the area, his father playing for the team, and if we get Mitchell and keep Obi, it'll be three New York guys. That's a special kind of pride that that's organically built into the team, and you see that he already carries that. Listen to him to Barry was good, and listen to him talk. You know what I mean? That's a grown man speaking, man, and knowing that he's always been looked at as an underdog. He said that, I think the line he used, he said, it's always been Jalen Brunson is good, but, and he's always had to prove people wrong. And I like that hunger and that underdog mentality coming to the New York Knicks, man. That automatically gives you a certain level of grit when you always feel like you got something to prove and you playing with a chip on your shoulder. You feel me? And that's exactly what I expect to see from Jalen Brunson on a nightly basis. Somebody who's playing with a chip on his shoulder and that's proud to play for the city. Shout out to him, man, because he is being criticized by even some of our own fans, talking about his size and how he's small at 6'1". Bro, there's been tons of guards that have been really good in the NBA that's been quote unquote undersized. So I don't even know where that argument comes from that he can't possibly be a high impact player because of his height. That's ridiculous. You feel me? There's been tons of people in the NBA that have been high impact players and been undersized. But it was just definitely dope to see him up there holding that jersey, standing next to his pops, Coach Tommy T. You feel me? They asked him about what he's looking forward to most about playing for Coach Tommy T. And for lack of a better words, for me, in paraphrasing, he knows that Coach Tommy T is gonna hold him accountable and push him hard. You feel me? Pause. It's crazy. Um, but he knows that, and he said he's looking forward to that, and which is dope, especially when you already know you come into a situation with a tough coach like Coach Tommy T, who expects a lot of his players and pushes them to the limit. You feel me? And he seems like he's ready for it. You feel me? I'm only here for a good time, y'all, not a long time. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be on here long, so we going right through it. You feel me? The first part of this, I just wanted to. I agree with that. I agree with that. You feel me? I agree with that. I don't know if we're gonna bring back that same level of toughness. You feel me? Because like there's no duplicating a Oak and a Mason. You feel me? There's no duplicating guys like that. But you know, I definitely see what you're saying, JJ. That it definitely could be that kind of vibe, especially you know people don't people and this is possibly a hot take from me. People What people don't realize is not a lot of guys in the NBA try Julius Randle, right? Not a lot of guys are rushing up to get in Julius Randle's face and start any kind of ruckus with Julius Randle. So, you know, I'm just thinking, now that he has BJ was good, bro. Uh um so with Julius Randle having to take less of the offensive load, pause, that's crazy. Uh he can focus more on doing like he's already one of our best rebounders and one of our best guys in the paint, period. Now he can really impose his will down there. You feel me? Instead of having to worry about setting up offense and stuff like that. And he can be more like sort of an enforcer role. Not necessarily an enforcer, but sort of an enforcer role. If you in here and you watch me, press a like for your boy, man. There's a lot of eyes, not enough likes. You feel me? Um, yeah. But I get what you're saying, JJ. Now moving on to the media being absolutely upset and perturbed, the fact that they not even that that they not that they were not invited to the media day, or I won't even call it a media day, but the welcoming event for Jalen Brunson. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And I'm gonna start off with the fact with the saying the reason why they upset is because they they couldn't come and ask a million questions about Donovan Mitchell. That's why they upset. They don't have they couldn't come and ask Jalen Brunson a million questions about how does he feel about playing with Donovan Mitchell. Do you think the Knicks is going to get Donovan Mitchell? Do you think you and Donovan Mitchell is a good fit together? Like those are the kind of questions that they wanted to be there to ask. And shout out to the Knicks organization for having the foresight to see that that was going to be the case and not invite them suckers, man. It was a day about welcoming Jalen Brunson to the New York Knicks, not for you clowns to come into a day that was designated for welcoming Jalen Brunson to the New York Knicks and overshadow it with asking questions about I just said the boy name about Spider. You feel me? Like it's not that's not what this day is for. And shout out to the front office for having the foresight to see that that's what this is going to be about. And Malika Andrews having the absolute gall and nerve to say that is outrageous that they didn't and alluded to. That's the kind of questions that she wanted to see asked. That's the kind of question that she wanted to see asked. Who would he like to play with? Like, like, come on, why would you insinuate these kind of things? That day was not about that. That day was about him becoming, Jalen Brunson becoming a Knick and how that made him feel. And let's celebrate that. It wasn't for all the buffoonery that y'all, the circus, the Donovan Mitchell circus that y'all was going to bring along with it. That's not what the day was for. So that's why y'all weren't invited. and for the media to get on whatever platform they on and throw a hissy fit about not being able to ask those kind of questions proves the point of why I wasn't even invited in the first place. And then Kendrick Perkins, big out of shape self, gonna sit there. This is what the Knicks do. Shut up. Shut up. You have an awful lot to say, Kendrick Perkins, for being a guy that wasn't really that good as an NBA player, bro. You talk too much. You weren't that good and have too much to say. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of the media always picking at the Knicks for whatever they do, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Malika, it's outrageous. It's outrageous that people wasn't there to hold them accountable for what? What were you going to hold them accountable for at the day that's made to celebrate Jalen Brunson becoming a Knick? What were you going to hold them accountable for in that moment? Except for, hey, I want to give you some accountability and doing a great job of finally getting a point guard on the New York Knicks after 25 years of not having a good point guard. Was that the accountability that you was going to have on the day that was designated to celebrate Jalen Brunson? Or were you going to come there and ask a million questions about Donovan Mitchell, somebody who's not even part of the team right now? So for y'all for the media to be up and have they draws in a bunch about not being invited to the event, so they couldn't make a 3-ring circus out of something that was supposed to be simple and sweet and nice for this kid. This is why y'all weren't invited. The media needs to learn a new trick. You know why the media is mad that they weren't invited? Because their ace in the hole is accessibility, the ability to have access to players in these events. That's their trump card. That's how they make their money, is having the accessibility and availability to be in these spaces. Without that, they have nothing. That's why they really mad. That's why they really mad. They have nothing without that access. Those major networks have nothing without that access. Because the New York Knicks content creators on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they're killing the media right now, bro. They killing mainstream media. Because we don't have the luxury of having access to these players and these coaches and these events. So we actually have to make good content. Actually have to have substance. That's what they're mad about. Because the biggest story right now is the Knicks in Spider. The Knicks front office has been super close-lipped about everything that they're doing regarding the situation. You feel me? So you don't have no access to information through that avenue. And the closest thing that you could get is to be in an event with Jalen Brunson that's designated to celebrate Jalen Brunson, so you can have the opportunity to sit there and ask questions about a guy who's not even on the team yet. We all know that's why y'all mad y'all wasn't there. We all know it's nothing to hide. Malika Andrews pretty much let the cat out of the bag, bro. Shout out to the Knicks for having the foresight to keep that event about solely Jalen Brunson, because he deserved it. He fought his way to this moment, bro. He fought his way to this moment. Let that man get his flowers without having the media ask him questions about another man that's not even on the team. We all knew it was going to happen. We all knew. We all knew that was going to happen, bro. I'm so tired of the Knicks being the punch. Like, it's other teams that's making horrible decisions and horrible moves, bro. But anything the Knicks do is blown out of proportion and made this seem like it's the worst thing on the face of the earth, bro. And shout out to the Knicks for fighting back finally. No, you don't have no access to us, so you could come here, ask all these ridiculous questions, then go to your morning talk shows and then throw salt and shade. Yo, Kofi, that's what I was saying, bro. I literally was just saying that. I was literally just saying that. That's all they wanted to do. That's why they tight, that they wasn't there. You feel me? All they wanted to do was ask questions about Donovan Mitchell on a day that's designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a New York Knick. Why would they invite the media to that? Disrespecting is fact, bro, because that's exactly what they would have done. They would have literally shit all over Jalen Brunson's big day, and it was a big day. You talking about a guy who grew up a Knicks fan, watched his dad play for the Knicks. His favorite players was Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston. He was practicing Allen Houston's jab step in his kitchen. And this is a big day for him. To not only to be a part of a team that he liked and loved since a child, but also be a part of the team that his father played for. So why would the immediate and why would the media be invited to shit all over that? That's a fact, Kof. Everybody knew what the narrative's going to be, bro. Everybody, they had a whole issue when Leon Rose did an interview with Mike Breen. You feel me? Oh, he's hiding from the media, bro. Y'all suck. You feel me? Like y'all suck. Y'all not unbiased, bro. There's a bias against the Knicks. You feel me? There's a bias against the Knicks in the mainstream media, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. The Knicks front office see it. The Knicks front office see it, and shout out to them for finally fighting back. Because to me, this was a fight back move. You're not going to be invited here so you can make a mockery out of this guy's day. Facts. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You feel me? If you're the Knicks, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You go out. You're a team that hasn't had a legitimate point guard in 25 years. So you go out and you sign the best available point guard. He was the best available. I dare somebody name any point guard that was available in free agency that the Knicks could have signed better than Jalen Brunson. You can't. I'm not even going to give you a chance to think about it. You can't. He was the best available point guard. So the Knicks go out and get the best available point guard, something that they sorely needed for over 25 years. That move gets shitted on. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, Steven. Shout out to my guy, Kevin Steven, on the YouTube check-in. You heard? Press a like for me over there, guys. You heard? So we go do that. That gets shitted on, right? So now we in a situation with Donovan Mitchell and the trade, and another damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, right? If we if we break and give Danny Ainge everything he wants, the narrative is going to be how we got fleeced for Donovan Mitchell, right? That's going to be the narrative. We got fleeced. They gave up so much for Don. That's the narrative that's going to be on all the morning talk shows, all these talking heads is going to be up there talking about how the Knicks got robbed by Danny Ainge yet again, right? Danny Ainge is a master too. That's what they're going to say. He's a master negotiator. But if we don't get done, Spider, the narrative is going to be, oh, look, the Knicks ain't serious about winning. They had a chance to get a superstar and they blew it. That's going to be the narrative. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? And then even if we find a great medium and still acquire Spider without giving up a whole bunch, right? Without giving up a whole bunch, a nice medium, something that everybody could live with. Then the narrative is going to be, but they still not a championship team. The Knicks still are not any good. They're still not going to go anywhere. There's still going to be a lottery. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. There's no win with the media when it comes to the New York Knicks. And today, with the outrage of not being invited to the event designated to celebrate Jalen Brunson, is another pin in that theory. You feel me? It's another Fraz in the building. You already know the Vibrary Team Knicks and Issues in the building. Yo, press like for your boy. There's a lot of eyes, not enough likes. Yo, Kev, if you ain't doing nothing and you available, pull up on your boy, man. Word. So yeah, so it's just damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you the Knicks, man, the media need to get over themselves. If you wasn't here earlier, I will repeat what I said. You know, part of the reasons why the media is mad that they wasn't invited. I said this earlier. I'm gonna repeat it again. It's because their big thing and what makes the mainstream media, sports media, as popular and as big as they are is accessibility. Like they're having the ability to have access to these events, to these people, to these players. That's their ace in the hole. And they're a one-trick pony. If you take that away, they're not doing anything. They don't really have anything to talk about. The biggest story in the offseason is the Spider Mitchell saga going on with Utah and the Knicks. That's the biggest story in the offseason right now. The Knicks front office has been super tight-lipped. A few things has been leaked about the deal, about what the Jazz want. You feel me? And the Knicks declining that. But other than that, it's been very quiet. So the closest thing they have to have access to that's close to that situation is the day that's designated, the event that's designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick. And I hope you notice that I'm saying that the whole thing the whole time, every time. The event designated to celebrate that Jalen Brunson is a Knick, because that needs to be acknowledged. So they mad that they didn't have access to that event so they can ask questions about the biggest story in the NBA right now, which is the Utah Jazz and Knicks saga with Spider Mitchell. So they mad that they couldn't get to the event that's designated to celebrate that the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick, to ask questions about Spider Mitchell. That's why they mad. That's why they mad, bro. Literally, that's why they mad. And they need to get over it, bro. You need to get over it. It's a reason why these guys are not talking to you. It's a reason. The best moves are made in silence. Yo, Brody, I'm gonna say this, right? Most of these people who get on TV and call themselves experts and analysts don't be knowing shit, bro. They don't. They be having wild ass guesses, just like the rest of us, fans and sports enthusiasts alike. They get a lot of their information from Twitter. just like the rest of us. They don't know shit. You feel me? And then they lean on the word sources, my sources, I sources in the front office or sources here. They lean on that term, even if it's cap. Maybe I can't even say that it's cap. It could be true that they have sources, but it never says who the source is. They could be talking to the ball boy for all you know of an organization. And they could still be able to say a source within the organization. It can be a soda vendor. And they can still say sources in the organization. Even the major ones. It be capped. How many, if they have so many sources, how many times they be right, bro? Tell me. They got all these sources, and how many times they be right? They be wrong 98% of the time. 98% of the time they be wrong, bro. But talking about their sources, they know just as much as we know, bro. The only thing is they know how to express themselves eloquently. But they be capping. They be capping. That's a fact too, bro. That's a fact too. I'll be scrolling down my Twitter timeline and I'll be seeing all these trade packages I wish they destroyed the trade machine. I wish it didn't exist. And I wish the trade machine never existed because that thing has people thinking that they are real GMs and they're making great moves, and they don't factor in real life situations. Just because the money in matches, don't factor in all the real life situations that goes along with these teams, which is team needs, player compatibility. Like they just throw things in the trade machine. Oh, it says cleared. Let's do it. No, that's not how it works, bro. And I don't profess to know more about anybody's my team or any team than the next person. I don't do that. I just get here and express my opinion, bro. That's all I do. You feel me? But yeah, that's all I want to talk about today, man. I'm about to get off this. I said I wasn't gonna be here for a long time, just a good time. Shout out to everybody who pulled up, man. You know, the media just pissed me off yet again. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, bro, they don't even talk about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving no more as much as they talk about the Knicks. And those are two superstars. They don't even talk about those guys anymore. But the Knicks is always a topic of discussion every day. Every day. And they always got some slick shit to say every day. Because the Knicks are super clickbaity, bro. The Knicks are super clickbaity. The problem that I really had, it was literally watching Malika Andrews have so like you could see the disgust, you could hear the disgust in her voice that the media wasn't invited. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, and at the end of the clip that I saw, you know, Kendrick Perkins, fat, out of shape self, gonna sit there. That's what the Knicks do. And she's like, but it doesn't make it right though. Like, bruh. All right, last explanation. What happened today? You feel me? So Barry, peep it. You know, the Knicks had the event that was designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick yesterday. So this morning, a lot of news people or sports analysts or whatever you want to call them, what have you, including Malika Andrews, were upset. And what she said is, yeah, the Knicks didn't have invite any media there, which is outrageous. I'm like, what is outrageous about it? She's like, yeah, the media wasn't invited so they could ask him questions like who else would he like to play with on the team, which we all know what that insinuates. We all know what she meant by that. It was pretty much why wasn't the media allowed to be there to ask on a day on it. Why wasn't the media invited to an event that was designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson's a Knick to come there and ask questions about Donovan Mitchell? And she was upset about that. The vitriol in her voice at the end is what made me go, yo, what the fuck is their problem? Keep them accountable for what? And I said this earlier, and I'm gonna say it again. What were they going to keep the Knicks accountable for on a day at an event that was designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson was a Knick? Were they going to acknowledge the fact that the Knicks needed a solid point guard for 25 years and they finally got one? Was that the accountability that they were talking about? Or was it going to be the accountability of why don't you think the Knicks has traded for Donovan Mitchell yet? Why is the Knicks the only team that's always got to be held accountable? There's other teams shitting the bed, bro. It's craziness. But the Knicks, I said it. The Donovan Mitchell story is the biggest story in the NBA, and the closest that the mainstream media could get to that story, is an event designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick. And they're mad, and it's sad that y'all don't have no other investigative journalist muscle underneath y'all, but to try to weasel y'all way into an event that is designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick, to try to get the scoop or a story or a soundbite about why Donovan Mitchell is not a Knick yet. It's sad and it's disgusting. Y'all all should be ashamed of yourselves that y'all so upset about this. The Knicks are playing it absolutely correct. There was no other way for the Knicks. Should have played this. Why would they make it a 3-ring circus about something that's not what the day is about? How do you make a player feel special if he has to answer questions about another player that's not even on the fucking team? How? You don't. You don't. So that's why these people weren't invited. I can see how the conversation went. Hey, should we invite the media? No, because they're going to ask questions about Donovan Mitchell, and that's not what this day is about. This day is about Jalen Brunson. That was a conversation that was had in the front office. I can tell you that's how I went. I wasn't there, but I know in my heart of hearts, that's how I feel how it went down, bro, because it was painfully obvious. And shout out to the front office for having that foresight. They got the nerve to be upset. Bro, they don't. I mean, they do. They know exactly what they're doing. They're always trying to stir the pot, always trying to get a soundbite. And I still think the media is upset with Leon Rose for not giving them an interview when shit was going bad last season. And he did the interview with MSG. They're still mad about that. So they're going to try to take it out on the Knicks whenever they can. I guarantee you, the shit talk about the Knicks is going to be up double fold over the next couple weeks. Because they feel slighted. They feel slighted. And the fact of the matter, I would rather hear 10 more questions from that little 8-year-old girl that they had from the Garden of Dreams Foundation than listen to any of those fools get up there in an event that is designated to celebrate the fact that Jalen Brunson is a Knick that asks questions about Donovan Mitchell. I want that little girl to ask 8 more questions. Then to hear them ask Jalen Brunson about Donovan Mitchell. Because we all know that was going to happen. Like, we all know that was what was going to happen. And Malika Andrews pretty much told us that while she was doing whatever show she does. And don't get me wrong, I like Malika Andrews, bro, even though she's a Knick hater. But today was like, yo, you being wild corny. She was being corny today. And Kendrick Perkins is always being corny. He got one little ass punchline, and now he think he hot shit. Carry the hell on. His takes are atrocious. He wasn't even that good of a basketball player anyway. I mean, he was in the NBA. He wasn't no scrub like compared to normal people. By NBA standards, though, he was trash. By NBA standards, he was trash. But got the most shit to say. It be the mofos who ain't really have no game. They be having the most to say. Him and Richard Jefferson alike. He's another one I can't stand. I like Richard Jefferson on Twitter though. I mean on TikTok though. I can't front. I follow Richard Jefferson on TikTok. His TikTok fire. You feel me? But listen to him talk. He wasn't that good of a player neither. If it wasn't for Jason Kidd and LeBron James, he'd have probably had like a 4-year career. All he did was run and jump. Yo, that's crazy. They called him Charmander in the comments. That's crazy. That's hilarious because he do look like Char. That's hilarious. Word, bro. Always got the most to say. Always got the most to say, bro. But yeah, man, I wasn't even supposed to be on here that long, bro. Bro, Noel, Richard Jefferson could play because he played with Jason Kidd. Without Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson would have been super subpar and probably almost never seen minutes on the floor. The style of play that Jason Kidd played on the Nets, which was a very high-paced brand of basketball where they had the athletes to run up and down the court, catch the ball, and dunk on people, which suited Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson didn't have no Jimmy when he was on the Nets. He couldn't create for himself. He couldn't create for himself worth a lick. He scored off of, the occasional offensive putback and transition baskets and cuts and alley-oops, dog. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that good. Without Jason Kidd, he'd have been a C- player at best. Being perfectly honest. And then he goes from that situation and lucks up and ends up playing with LeBron James to get a ring. Another amazingly talented facilitator. You feel me? My angry side was gonna say F Richard Jefferson, but I said I was gonna stop being super disrespectful to these media personalities. They ain't never really do me no real harm, just talking crazy about my team. But no disrespect, fuck Richard Jefferson though. Word, bro. I'm getting tired of these dudes messing with my Knicks, man. Get tired of these dudes messing with my Knicks. Yo, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I wasn't even supposed to be here for almost 40 minutes. I was only planning to be here for like a cool 20, but I started getting a little tight. So I was venting. You feel me? But boom, hopefully I see y'all soon. I pull back up. This was a surprise live. Thank all of y'all for pulling up. If you didn't already, press like for your boy. If you haven't done it already, follow us on Twitter. I'll be trying to do this, but the invertedness be messing me up. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that. You know what I mean? Because I'm live on all of those platforms right now, FYI. This is streaming live on all those platforms simultaneously. So, and I be talking my most shit on Twitter. You feel me? Like me and Kev. Shout out to my guy Kev. You know what I mean? My co-host, Team Knicks Issues in the building. We be talking the most shit on Twitter. So follow us there. You know what I mean? And I holla. Appreciate y'all. Let's go Knicks, man. I'm trying to end this shit. This shit won't end. This is embarrassing. Bruh. Why this shit won't end? I'm trying to end this shit.